Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well today. Thanks for coming back and joining me. I do appreciate it. This is our third week of What Would You Do? I'm thoroughly enjoying this event. It's just great, and the things that are being posted, it just goes to show that with the same sort of 6 items, all the different things that you can create with just those 6 items is just amazing. It's been a fabulous event so far. Now, this week it was Rose's turn to do the event, but unfortunately she's away still. So she sent me the picture, which is the picture that I've posted, which is it's got red in it. And I don't have a lot of things that are red. I thought I'd just show you the 6 items that I'm going to be using. So the 6 items that we've got down for this week is feather, buttons, string, here, napkin, waxed paper, and embossed paper. Now, my embossed paper was pre-made. This is some things that I got from Temu. I don't have a real feather of any sort, so I found a feather charm. I did think I was going to have to make one, but I managed to find a feather charm. So I'm going to be using that. So these are my 6 items. I thought what I would do as the freebies this week is produce you a feather sheet and an embossed sheet, just in case there's people out there that don't have embossed paper. Now, many years ago when I was first card making, we used to literally buy plastic A4 plastic sheets with like grooves in them that used to make your embossing, and you used to use a ball tool to go round on your cards. So, I mean, I do have a Gemini and I can do some embossing. I do have some embossing folders, but I found this and thought I would use this. It's just got writing on. It's very difficult actually to see, but it is embossed. So I thought I'd use that. So I thought what I would do is I'd create you something that if you don't have the ability to do your own embossing and you don't have any embossed papers, that at least you could use something that is similar, which is what I've produced. And I've produced a page of different feathers in case you don't have a feather like I didn't or didn't think I did. So I'll just get those and I'll show you what the freebies are. Okay, so here's the freebies. So this is just an A4 sheet of feathers and wings. I've put some decorative pieces on there and an inkwell. I couldn't really think of much else to do. So I have corrected these that are slightly off the page because it prints with a border and it didn't quite catch. So I've made those slightly smaller, but feel free to use them. If you don't want them, that's fine. I just thought I would help those that are in need. And this is the embossed sheet. Now, it isn't obviously embossed, but it does look embossed. So, we would allow that if you needed to use it. So I'm hoping that they're going to be okay. I will post those up on the group later today. So I'm going to clear away. I'm going to think about what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to come back and join you. Okay, so I think I've sorted what I'm going to do, sort of. But the piece of greaseproof that I had, I'd already previously used, and then I remembered that I've got these. So I'm going to just make a bag out of this. So what I'm going to do is these are my air fry liners, and I'm just going to take it down and put that off there. And then you'll see that it automatically tries to curl up. I just want to make sure that I've got the right height, which I can do that a little bit lower. So I'm just going to cut along there just to take that groove away, where it curls naturally. I'm not being too overly precious about it because we're going to trim it anyway with some pinking shears. So what I want to do is just make sure that this will fit and it will. So I'm just going to make that maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm just going to cut up about there. Okay, and I'm going to use tape this time. I used glue and trying to find my greaseproof paper. I found that I'd used it all making bags with the Mass Make March, so I undid one and it came apart really easily because I'd glued it. So I'm going to use tape, which I've always done in the past anyway. That's just created a crease. That's come out. I didn't really want to make that too tight, so that's going to be my tag pocket. So I'm just going to do the bottom. What I want to do is I just want to get my pinking shears and I'm just going to cut a little line down there. Okay. And then I'm just going to turn that up to make the bottom of my, sorry, I'm off screen, turn it up just to make the bottom of my my bag. And then what I'll do is I'll just measure that and I can just cut a little bit off there as well. So I'm just going to cut off just a little bit. I don't want it to be too high on my pocket. Okay. And then what I want to do, oh, that's stuck down. So I'm just going to peel that off if it's come on. It's just caught on a piece of that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I should have done this while it was open really, I was just too eager to make sure it would work. Is I'm just going to miter this from this side. And then what I'm going to do is just cut that inside part off. I mean, you don't really get bulk on here anyway. So you could have left it in. So, where's the end gone? There it is. Just going to put a little piece on the bottom there, just to secure that. Burnish that down and then pick that up. There we go. And I'm just going to fold that in. And there we've got our little tag bag with our greaseproof paper. So there's one thing taken off the list. I am going to decorate that. Just pop those away. And that can go away now. Yeah, I think I will decorate that. That'll be the perfect size for that, for my embossing paper. But we'll do that in a minute. I want to do this next, so I just need my messy mat. Because I want to just do a little bit of dibby-dabby on this part. My aged mahogany. It's not very juicy, that one. I'll just get a little bit of water just to dibby-dabby that on so that that can be drying. That's pretty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do my edges while I've got the ink there. Okay, and I'm just going to leave that to dry. I'll just wipe that up. And I'm going to leave my mat out purely because I'm going to glue that in a moment when it's dry. So what we'll do next, I'm going to put the tissue onto my tag and then we're going to use the rest to decorate. So I'll just get that dry. All I've done with this is a piece of card from a cake box. I get 5 out of my little cake boxes. 2 this size, which is 3.5, and 2 2.5 size tags. Perfect. And then I've just lined it with some, plain. You can do coffee dyed or whatever, just so that you've got a journaling spot there. Isn't that gorgeous? How that I do think aged mahogany is an underrated ink. It's just lovely the way that it comes out. It's so cool. And then what we're going to do with this is I'm just going to cut a square off because that's all I'm going to need. Okay. And then we just have to separate it. So we just take off the backing sheets. And if you just dampen your fingers and peel the back off, then you'll get to the tissue bit, which is the bit that you need. And then what I want to do is, that's going to be, oh, my tag's a bit too long. Can I do it that way? I can't really. I'll have to do a longer piece because I can't have that. And then that's going to fit on there perfectly. So I'm going to do that. I don't know whether you can actually see. Well, you can actually. And then I'm just going to get some, now I've got some decoupage glue, but you can use matte medium, you can use Mod Podge. I have seen people actually use glue stick, but I don't want to do that. And because it's tissue, you're going to want to paint this part here. And you're going to need a fair amount on your tag. Or oh, that's strange that's reacting to that ink. How odd is that? That's never happened to me before. Oh well, nothing I can do about it now. It didn't happen like that the other day. I wonder if I didn't dry it enough. I did these the other day for something else. Strange. That's a strange one. First time for me. Anyway, let's try gas and get on with it. Something didn't work, but we can live with it. You just want to get it on the bottom and then just move it up gently to the top. And then go out to the sides and go out to that side. Well, that's really surprised me. I definitely dried it. I'm just going to check my corners because I want to make sure that I've got it all stuck down right to the very end. Yeah, that's all done, and that's all done. So I'm just going to dry that. Now, some people like to coat the top of theirs. I don't mind doing that, but I want to stamp on this, so I don't want to put it on. And actually, I will try it and then do it because I just want to see if it affects the other ink. I've never known it do that before. I did several the other day. Exactly same format with the backing. So you can see all of this, the dibby-dabbing at the back there. So I don't know why that's happened with the aged mahogany. But we'll stamp and that will give me the same sort of, or some sort of effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut round this. And if you've got any straggle pieces, I've got one there, but that's a bit big. Just use your sanding disc and just go around the edge. just gets any other little straggly pieces off. So all that can then go in the bin. The scissors need a clean. Okay. So I think what we'll have to do is I want a word stamp, I think, and I do quite like this one. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to need a block. Now, I'm not bothered about it all being perfect. Oh, put it on the right way, okay. I'm not bothered about it being, you know, all there and complete. It doesn't matter to me if it's faded. And I'm just going to bring that in over this edge. And of course it works. That's going to be upside down, isn't it? Because I don't want to do that, I think. Yeah. And I'm just going to pop that one down there. So that's the sort of effect I wanted. We got there in the end. So that's all the stamping I need. I might need those out later, so I'll just leave those to one side for now. Yes, I like that. I like it a lot. So let's just give that another coat of glue. See, it hasn't reacted with the stays on. I never got any reaction with it the other day either. Don't know. If you know, answers on a postcard. I'll just get that dry and clean my brush and I'll be back. So I'm just going to finish off now on here, and I just want to, I'm loving these torn edges at the minute, so I want to just take that off. So if I just rip that there, I just don't want the top to be as plain as that. Okay, so I'm just going to take that bit off. And then I'm just going to rip from this corner down to here. Something like that. Just to give it a little extra. So I just need to ink that. Just ink that bottom, the rest can get done in a minute. And I'm just going to sort of just blend a little bit on there. Just to take that whiteness off. Well, it's not white, is it? It's cream. And then I'm just going to glue that to the end there. I'll just come across a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I'll just glue that on. So I'm going to hold it there and come down here. And it's only to about there, I think. Okay. So I'm just going to get it at the top. Turn it round. Perfect. Make sure that that's all on, and then trim that up from the back. Same on this side. And glue all over these scissors. Just giving it a little bit of interest. I might do that at the bottom actually. Does it need it? No, probably not. We'll deal with that. I'm just going to stick an eyelet in because I'm going to need an eyelet. So I'm just eyeballing the middle there, and I'm just going to stick a little gold one in because we've got a gold charm. I can move this messing up now, just bear with me a second. There we go. That's come out pretty, hasn't it? I like that. Let's put that over there. So now we're just going to do the bag, although we could do with a bit of twine in there and get our, this is perfect colour actually, this one. This is just some hemp cord, and I buy this to, I sometimes do my, can't find the end, to use as an alternative for signatures if it's on the outside. I can see the end, but I don't know if it's the right one. Oh no, we've got it now. And I'm just going to double that up. Probably. Maybe double it. Treble it. Just because it's so thin, really. And then I'm going to... Oh. And there's on this side. Okay. Yeah, I buy this. I actually got this one from Temu, but you can buy this hemp make. I mean, it says it's made in China, so it's probably a copy now in Temu, but that's the perfect colour for this card, this tissue paper. So I want to put my charm on one of those as well. So I'm just going to thread that through there. Do it a bit close, okay, then you'll see what you're doing. So I'm just going to thread my charm on there. Oh, I need to thread that, sorry. I need to thread that through there first. Otherwise I won't get it through. There we go. Then pop this on one of the ends. Through there. You can always put it on with a jump ring if you want to, for a little bit more security. And then because I've got so many threads, I'm going to just dab a little bit of glue on it, just to secure all of those threads. I just want to pull those threads separately. Just makes it a bit tighter. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. And then I'm just going to put a little bit on this knot just to secure it. Put a little bit on the back. Just so that charm doesn't come off really. Oh, I like that. I don't know whether I want to leave those raggedy or whether I want to cut them all off to the same length. Same length by the looks of it. Okay, so at the moment we've got our tissue, we've got our charm, we've got our thread. I'm liking that. So we're going to move on to the pocket quickly, and I'm just going to make I just want to ink that a little bit more. I have gone over the top with just my thing just to bring that embossing out a little bit. And I'm just going to stick that on there and just do a little bit of a collage. So I'm just going to glue this on. Now you could make this another pocket at the front for a smaller tag. Oh, I wish I'd have done that now. But we didn't think about it quick enough. I think that's the right way up. I'm just going to stick that onto my bag. Make sure that it's fairly level. And then I've got this, which I don't really know if I want to use or not. Just want to make it a bit more raggedy around that edge. I just wanted to incorporate it a little. That's probably the right way. I've got this torn music paper, which I may as well use. And ink. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, quite like that. What is it that we've still got to do? Buttons. Is that the only thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and buttons is 6. So yeah, it's just buttons we've got to add now. Oh, what am I thinking? I don't know. So we've got tissue, got a bit of music paper. We could do with a couple of just a couple of words, maybe a number. Something maybe bluish. I want a circle or an oval, don't I? Oh, there's a big one. Well, we've got those few. Let's just see where that takes us. I just need my tweezers. Okay, let's just glue this down. It doesn't really need to be all glued. I just want to get the outer line on. We'll glue this on. I don't even know if I've got it up the right way or the wrong way. Is that the right way? I don't know. That way, I think. Okay. And then, do I want the numbers up the top there somewhere? Let's have a look. Could have that coming off of there. Let's put the cluster on first. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's just get you down. Otherwise we could be here all day. Make sure that's fairly straight. Then we've got this one. And quite like that sort of half on half off there. And then we've got this one, which could go in the middle. Yeah, I like it in the middle. I'll pop that there. And then I think the number needs to go now at the bottom. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, it needs to go at the bottom here, doesn't it? I think it needs a butterfly. Just going to see what I've got. I could do really with quite a dark piece, couldn't I? That's actually quite nice, isn't it? I like that. We'll stick with that one. I was thinking something a lot smaller, but I want it there. have to go there if I'm going to have it that big. Yeah, and this is a sticker as well, so I'm just going to get the sticker off. I've just got to be careful because of that tissue, and it needs to go underneath here just a little bit. I don't want it to come off. It's too late. Too late. Because that's on textured paper, I'm just going to burnish that all in so it doesn't come off. And to be honest, that tiny bit that's hanging over is clear, so I'm not too fussed about that. And I just want to give that a bit of glue because it's sticking up. And then I just want to take that shine off of this because it's quite shiny. This is the trouble when you do it. Oh. The sanding that's come off is blue. I better not do any more. So I've just marked my paper. I'm just going to come in with a bit of this just to go over that blue area where it's gone a bit blue. There we go. You'd never know now. You'd never know. And then what we need is buttons. We need some buttons. I quite like that there. That's quite cute. So let's just pop that in the bag just for a second. Oh, I like it. Okay. So the last thing we need is just some buttons or a button somewhere just to fulfill Rose's criteria. So I haven't got any of the lighter colour buttons, I don't think. I'll just pick some out, see what we've got. Oh, I don't know. Well, we could add more into it by putting it on a ball pin. Oh, it's hard. Unless I can put it on the tag, then it would be a little bit better. I wonder if I could put it up here. No, it's the wrong colour. That's what the problem is. I haven't got anything the right colour, maybe. I like the tiny green. So that I like the size of the button, but it's the wrong colour and I haven't got one in the right colour. No, we're just going to have to sacrifice and do that. I quite like it on there, but I do think it needs 3. What about purple? Because we have purple, that's quite nice. It's just stuck on though, isn't it? I don't like it like that. It's just stuck on. Yeah, I prefer them on the bag than the tag. Plus, if you're writing on the tag and you've got buttons on it, it's not going to be great, is it? No, we're going to settle with those, I think. We're going to settle with those. So I'm just going to get that stuck down. Now, I haven't got my hot stuff out. So I'm going to have to just use a bit of colour. Actually, could we put some of this thread through? Will it fit? Is the question. And then it will give the glue something to stick to as well. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm just knotting a piece of thread through the holes, just to bring that colour in. Doesn't actually need to be double. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'd like to leave the tails on. That brings a bit of texture, and we can pop that one there as if it's sewn on. Same with this one. Go through that end. Now this has got 4 in it, but it's only getting 2 holes filled. Do that one. And then the same with this one. I don't think that's going to be big enough. I'm not going to be able to tie it. Come on. Oh, the struggle's real. The struggle is real. I'm not going to put you through this on video, by the way. I'll go through, grab your tail and bring that through. We managed it in the end. And then another one there. And then your tag is in there. Loving that. So we have our tissue, our greaseproof paper, our embossing paper. We have a charm, we have thread, and we have buttons. So I think we have actually succeeded eventually. Love it. So I'll go away in just a sec. So here's the end result. I quite like that now. We've got thread in it. And there's your tag. So you've got a little greaseproof paper tag bag. I like the way that butterfly's picked up the embossing on the back, because I've sanded it. But sand it off if you do that, because obviously, especially dark colours. I'm loving it though. That's really cute. I'm glad I made that. It's come out quite well. And the buttons don't look too bad now, do they? At least they don't look like they're sitting there. They do look like they're sewn on now. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy making your lovely makes for the What Would You Do? This is what I would do. So yeah, enjoy. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.